Okay. We have Miss Janet here from Vesretta's Home Care Agency in New York. Vesretta Home Care was recently licensed by New York Department of Health. Miss Janet, can you tell us more about you and what you do at your agency?
My name is Janet Roberts. I'm a registered nurse and I'm director of Vesretta Home Care LLC. I started my agency because I've been a nurse for all my life and I love caring for the sick and those that are in need of help. And it started from me caring for my great-grandmother. I remember when she got to the point where she wasn't able to care for herself. I was the only one who would, take her, put her in the tub and wash her and care for her. And that really gave me a sense of belonging. And then when my mom got to the point where she also became ill and needed care, she wasn't able to climb the stairs to go up the stairs. So I made my downstairs into a living area for her, and I made her feel as comfortable as possible. So that gave me the inspiration to have my own home care agency.
I see. Now, is that where the name of Vesretta Home Care comes from?
From my mother. That's my mother's middle name.
Perfect. Awesome. So I guess the history behind your family, your grandmother and your mother is what kind of urged you to open your own home care agency, coupled with you being a registered nurse.
Definitely.
Perfect. Okay, so how long now has it been since you started the agency?
The whole process began 6 years ago, and it came to life. The idea prompted into my head 6 years ago, and I started the process 5 years after. And 5 years after, I obtained my license and getting ready to start business.
Perfect. So tell us about your journey throughout the startup process. What was that like, you being a registered nurse?
It was a lot of back and forth. At times I felt discouraged, but I persevered. There were several times my application was sent back like 3 times. I had to resubmit my application. And each time I had to send 3 packages in, which was a lot of documents. Just for one package was like about 50 documents, and you had to prepare 3 of that each time. At times I felt discouraged, but I said, you know what, this is a part of my journey. This will be a part of my testimony, so I'm going to persevere. And it took a lot. First, it had to get approved in Albany, which took about 1 year. Then after that, it was sent to the Metropolitan Regional Office in New York City, which took another 2 years just for the policy and procedures to get approved. Then after the approval of the policy and procedure, then another year for the forms that go with the policy and procedures to be approved. Then during that process, I didn't know the process was such a long journey. I had rented a storefront to operate my agency from, which I rented in 2016, renovated it, made it up to standard, and equipped it with office furnitures, installed ductless air conditioned units, made it comfortable for business. Only in November of 2019 to learn from the Department of Health that the certificate of occupancy was not acceptable.
Mm.
So then the landlord tried to get it approved by the Department of Health, which was taking forever again. So I had to go and rent another office space. And by doing that, everything started to move forward, where I got to the point of licensing.
Wow, that sounds like a long, drawn out
It was a
journey that you've been.
long journey. Oh, there was, I had to change the name of the business at first, because then after changing that, and I thought everything was changed with all the departments, only to learn at the end that it was not changed with the IRS. So then I had to submit documents to the IRS to change the name of the business to go with the tax ID. I kept sending letters in. They said it takes up to 6 weeks. At the end of that, at 6 weeks, I contacted them. They only to learn they did not receive the document. They tell me to resubmit it again, which I did. And this just kept on going till the last time I called, one of the persons in the department that I spoke to said, "Miss, why don't you just apply for a new number?" I said, "That's all I had to do?" She said, "Yes, miss." And just by doing that, everything went through within 2 weeks.
Wow. A lot of back and forth, a lot of patience that you had to deal with.
But as they said, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you mentioned that you had a long process with Department of Health and kind of going back and forth. Was there a reason for that, or was it something that was on your end? Or so starting a business is not only, you know, with regulatory guidelines and policies and things, but you have to also get expert help in order to kind of facilitate the process to make it quicker.
Definitely, because they ask for stuff that you never even heard about. So you definitely have to, you know, work with the professionals who this is what they do.
Okay. Now you mentioned that you're a registered nurse, so the agency is owned by a registered nurse. Can you tell me about more of your educational backgrounds and what you can share to the nurses that are interested in doing the same thing, or, you know, maybe perhaps are unclear if they can do it?
I started off by being a certified nursing assistant. Then I became a licensed practical nurse. Then I went back to school to be a registered nurse, where I have an associate's degree in nursing. I was going, I went back again to school to obtain my bachelor's in nursing. And during that time, my mom passed away, and it became difficult for me to move forward. So, but that was that was something I was pursuing.
Okay, I understand. So in terms of now, you know, you've gotten licensed and you're ready to launch your agency. What is your agency's vision and or mission? What basically do you want to facilitate in your community?
My vision is to see, to care for those who are in need, knowing that they can stay in their home and receive the care that they desire, and also assist the family in caring for them, because at times the family need that extra help, because it becomes, you know, overwhelming on the family. So to have an agency who they know will take that, I wouldn't say burden, but, you know, give them that
Support
sense. Yeah, that sense of knowing that their family is in capable hands, because it's not somebody who is just operating a business, but somebody who is being in the field of caring for those who are in need. Because I remember there was times when I was discharging patients back into the community, and they would say to me, "Nurse, can I take you home with me?" And I said, "I wish I could." So, you know, that inspired me to, even though I'm not in the facility, but I'm still continuing to give that level of care that I would give if they were in in a facility, they can now receive that at home.
Absolutely. I mean, that's big more even now with, the whole COVID-19 pandemic.
Exactly. Yeah. Even with the COVID-19, I see where home care is very essential because a lot of family was kept away from their loved ones, and they were in a facility. They could not go to visit them, and I know that's very stressful on the family as well as the patient. And I myself I've been working in home care, and I was with my patient in the home during the whole COVID pandemic, and I saw how relieved the family that I was with. Oh, they were so relieved to know that their father was being cared for, and they had access to him every day, and whatever care, there was a nurse there in the home or an aide there to care for their family. And because this is their work, whether they did whatever was necessary to get to their patient every day. If they had to wear a mask, a gown, but they did whatever it took to get to their patient. And that was a very stress-free process for the family.
It sounds like, I mean, that's so great that, you have that spiel on it, because it sounds like your agency, the vision is also to be patient and family centered. So not only, a lot of agencies focus on the patient side, but the families.
Family, yeah.
Because
it's not just the patient you're dealing with the entire family.
Perfect. Very holistic.
Yes.
So now, in speaking of the services and the patient family-centered care that you're going to be providing, is there any specialty programs that you will provide at your agency, maybe pediatric, Alzheimer's, TB, IV infusion? Is there any type of specialty programs that you're going to be offering?
Dementia, Alzheimer's, and those who are diabetic. I think that area needs special attention. A lot of patients really don't know the importance of monitoring their sugar, taking their insulin. And I found that to be a big issue why a lot of time there's a lot of hospitalization, because patients are in the home and they just take the insulin every day, and the doctor said to take it, but they don't know that they should monitor their sugar or what they should eat. And I think this area really needs a lot of attention, because I remember I had this patient, she was living next door to me, and I saw the ambulance came. So when I checked on her to find out what was the reason for the ambulance there, she said, "Oh, my sugar was very low." I said, "Did you check your sugar?" She said, "No." So I said, "What did you do?" She said, "I took my insulin." I said, "But did you know what your sugar level was at before you took the insulin?" And she said, "Oh, I never check my sugar. I just take my insulin because the doctor says to take it."
Oh, wow.
And this is a very important area that I will be focusing on. My patients who are diabetic, and also home infusion is another service that my agency will be providing.
Okay. So home infusion and also disease management for like the diseases like diabetes or high blood pressure.
Diabetes, hypertension,
Perfect.
and acute and chronic illnesses.
Okay. And you will be providing personal care services as well, correct? Nursing.
Personal care, yes, we will be providing home health aid service, personal care aides, homemakers, RNs, and LPNs.
Perfect. And where are you located, and what service areas will you be servicing?
Our office is located in Manhasset. It's 1129 Northern Boulevard. It's across from the Macy's.
Okay.
And it's in Suite 470.
Okay, perfect. And so are you going to be providing services throughout the 5 boroughs and Long Island, Suffolk?
Our service areas will be Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, and Nassau County.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So, in terms of prospective patients, is there anything you want to say to your prospective patients on what you do at your agency that's a little bit different, or why should they join Vesretta's home care agency? What can you tell me about what they will receive?
We will be using experienced, qualified, verified caregivers.
Okay. Now, as far as, you starting the process of your agency, you launching your agency, and now you getting into, servicing different agencies, different patients rather. Is there anything you want to share with the community about your agency? Something that you'd like them to know? Is there anything that you would like the community to know about your agency? Something that we didn't discuss on today's interview?
I would like the community to know that we are there for them, and that they can put their trust in us, that we are licensed by the Department of Health, and our agency will be run according to their standards.
Perfect. Perfect. And now lastly, you mentioned the testimony with this whole period of licensing and starting up. Is there anything else you wanted to mention about your testimony?
Well, I would love to say, if there wasn't these consulting agency that know what they're doing, and if they weren't there to help you along, I don't think this journey would have been possible. And also, there are a lot of people out there who would like to do this, but because they think they have to do it alone, maybe that's what maybe discourage a lot of people. But what I can tell them, it was a pleasure working with consulting agencies.
Perfect. So what was your experience working with Emmanuel Consulting Agency?
Oh, wow. I can say working with Julia was a lifesaver, because I don't know how I would have done it. Even for my pre-opening, she let me feel so confident, and I went in there feeling so confident, and I came out. At first, I thought I would be nervous, but I was so calm because she was right there with me, and every time I look across at her, she just reassured me that everything will be okay, and definitely it was.
Great. Well, glad to hear that. I mean, we're glad to, provide service to clients that are in need, and thank you for also consulting with us as well. So we're glad that everything worked out to your favor, and we wish Vesretta's Home Care success in their future endeavors. How can anyone reach you in regards to your agency? I know you have
our office number is 718-465-5151, and our website is www.vesretta.com. And I can be reached at janet@vesretta.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ms. Janet from Vesretta's Home Care Agency.